What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Techies and my marketers. Glad that you're back, and I'm so thankful that you guys are taking the time to look at this video. Make sure you share this video and visit my blog, which is not launched yet, devonartist.com. I said in the last video the reason I'm looking at AWS, since I am techie. What happened was I had malware on my site, and HostGator told me they wasn't going to clean it, although it's on a shared server, and it affected more than one of my sites was affected. Nonetheless, I said, since I have to clean it and clean it every time, I didn't have a bunch of content there. Wish I would have backed up my content. I had enough to actually put to redo the blog. But what I'm going to do now, we're just going to talk about reselling, becoming your own reseller using AWS. Definitely going to have to be a little technical, but search around like you're searching around and you found this video, you could get up to speed if you're technical. And if you're not technical and learning, practice makes perfect. So you're going to do a lot of reading, a lot of practicing, and create a lot of snapshots, backup of your AMIs. That's going to be your best thing to do. Plus, I'll recommend some plugins in case this is not for you later. You can move your site back to another host. Alrighty? So let's get started. I made a mistake in my last video and I deleted the video. I chose the Amazon AMI image, which Sentora doesn't support that. So I supposed to have been choosing Ubuntu. I did this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to choose Ubuntu. We're going to choose the T2 Micro because it's our test server. I'm going to protect against accidental termination. We're going to choose the default network. I'm not going to create a new VPC right now. I'll show you later how to create a new VPC for your production environment. This is our test environment. We're going to choose a size of 10. Well, I'm going to go with 15 because I might put a couple of test sites up here. Now remember, this is your root volume. Normally you would create another volume and store your data here, but nonetheless we're going to do some backups, clone this AMI so it wouldn't be a problem. I'm going to tag this instance with Reseller Training 2. I've already created the security group in my last video, so we're going to choose Sentora security group, and here's the ports that you need to have enabled for your firewall, and you can always check Sentora docs. We're going to click review and launch. Remember, now we have an Ubuntu server, T2 micro instance. We have our security group, which allow all these inbound connections. And we're going to click on launch right now. Make sure you acknowledge it. You have the option to create a new key pair or proceed without a key pair. Don't do that. You can't get into your instance. But you're going to choose an existing key pair, one that I've already created. It's called Devon Train. At this point, the instance is launching. So again, remember last time I said I made a mistake and used the wrong AMI, and I want to use this IP address as my static. So I'm going to disassociate that IP. So it's no longer associated with the original reseller training. Now it has back a public IP. But now Reseller Training 2 has a dynamic IP that is given by Amazon DHCP. What we want to do is allocate or associate our elastic IP with this instance, because if we go back, we're expecting on my domain, we're expecting the D panel, we expect the panel, we're expecting it to point to 52.3.86.99. So we're going to go back to our Elastic IP. I'm going to take that and we're going to associate this. Reseller Training 2. We're going to reassociate it. You can click on that link. Now, Reseller Training 2 is running and it's on our new Ubuntu instance. So, with all that running, we're going to take a SSH and we're going to SSH into the server. The key is I'm using Sigewin, and if you see before, I was going to install, and you can see my error, and I found out the hard way that it's not supported. Sometimes being technical, we just like to do, and we don't always read. Figure it's a Linux flavor. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to paste that command in. Okay, what happened here, I'm going to do this behind the scene. Since I've already connected to that in Sigewin, I would have to remove have to go in my directory and change that known host. I'm going to delete the known host file. Now we'll connect. It says yes. Just going to add it. Acting a little slow. So I like to do my work as root for the most part. Now we want to do an update to make sure that we have the latest and greatest packages. If you notice, I'm running, it's pulling from US East. So now here comes the good part. Are you ready to rock and roll, fellas and ladies? The command I'm going to issue is a bash command to download. And I'll put this in the bottom of the video. So we're downloading Sentora. Haha. Should be simple for any of you guys. I'm going to choose US. I'm in the Eastern time zone. So now here's where you want to enter the name of your subdomain. Panel. What did we name my test domain? Devon Artist AWS.info. Panel. Devon Artist AWS.info. If you notice, the IP address is correct. 52.3.86.99 is pulling that Elastic IP that we created. We're going to accept that. Do we want to install Sentora now? We do. Hit Y. Take a little time to update and upgrade the system. This is great. This will allow me to host my clients' sites fraction of a cost and make it a little cheaper on them and not worry about viruses, because I'm going to make sure I'll take care of the viruses. So when this come up, unless you know more about this, I would keep the local version currently installed. You'll click on OK or enter. That's my beautiful train that lives behind me. Comes every hour or so. Now it's starting to download the install and the required tools. And at any time, you can always stop the video and go back to make sure things are being done the way you need them done. Or so you can learn. What I recommend is when you're practicing and learning anything, especially you have a resource, you have AWS has changed the landscape for small businesses. It changed the landscape for technical people. It changed the landscape for anybody's looking to start their own business and host their own websites or create their own applications without buying server hardware, maintaining the server hardware. Of course, you still would have to be a system admin, because yeah, this is not for the faint of heart. When things go wrong, and if you have a production environment going on, this could definitely give you a problem. But get you a test account and play around. You know, you learn by doing, and you learn by overcoming your adversities or the problems. So now we're installing MySQL. Installing Postfix right now. It's running the new alias. Installing Dovecoat. And you can look up it's configuring our Apache right now, Apache server. Installing and configuring PHP. Video's now 12 minutes and 40 seconds. So between time, definitely leave me some comments in this video, what I could have done better. If you get stuck on some things, you know, let's talk about it. Also, don't forget to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter. I'm a techie by heart. So this is more than happy to share this video. It seems like we initially have a Apache restart failure. I think that happens the first time. And again, some things you would have to debug yourself. And they have a great forum, Sentora. Prior to this, Sentora is actually a fork of zPanel. Let's go to zPanel site while we're installing. But I think there's some security issues with zPanel, so I opted into going with Sentora. You can actually grab a copy, and we could have done this with zPanel also. I'm not sure if they're still supported. It actually seems like prior install, you can actually install this on a Microsoft. But I see a lot of people trying to do things on Windows for web hosting. It's it's not to do on Windows because of the resources that Windows, unless you're running a IIS site. Let's stay logged in for a minute. Now we're going to restart our server. Hey, we're complete. Of course, you can see my information. I think I'm going to blank that out. I'm going to copy this right now, even though the password is in root password. Because while I'm doing this training, I'll probably keep this around. And, you know, don't need anybody hacking me. We're going to say yes to restart our server. Let's take a look at our instance. So now our server is gone. Let's see if she's back up right now. Do a paste. What did I just do there? Oh, all right. Close this process. Open her back up. Go back to reseller training. Just make sure the server's back up. She's back up. So now we're going to what URL did we use? Did we use dpanel or either or? I think we did panel. So what we'll end up doing is going to panel Devon Artist AWS.info. We're going to log in. Wrong login. That happens. Voila. Now we have our account. We have now you can begin setting up your WordPress. Now, before you set up your WordPress, you're going to come here and go into module admins, and you're going to check out your modules. And you got to see which modules are there. Right now, the Syntactical module is not there. And we're going to install that module in our next video. I hope this helped you get up to speed initially. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you.